and welcome to Create Together. I'm Kayla, and I'm a museum educator here at Crystal Bridges. For today's project, we'll talk about arranging and drawing a still life. First, let's take a look at our permanent collection for inspiration. Let's get started. Take a moment to look at this painting. How would you describe the objects in this image? How did they end up on the ground? The artist, Joseph Decker, painted this still life of peaches. A still life is a work of art that portrays a collection of arranged objects. The arrangement of objects can include natural materials like fruits and vegetables, and other objects like the basket in this painting. Notice how the peaches lie next to or on top of one another. What shapes make up this image? There are odd, shaped circles falling out of the circular barrel. Upset shows some peaches which are bruised or cut open. Decker wanted to show beauty in how things actually are, even if they are not perfect. Why do you think this painting is called Upset? Imagine if you could step into this painting. Describe what you would feel, smell, or even taste.
You can pause this video or scroll back to any step if you need to.
Find these materials in your kit: white drawing paper, colored pencils, a pencil, and a pencil sharpener. You'll also want to find still life objects from your home. This might include toys, fruits, drinks, or whatever else you can find. For this project, find items that are important or interesting to your group. Look around your house for interesting objects that you'd like to draw. My friend and I chose a few items that reminded us of the desert, but with color. Once you have your objects, find a flat surface to arrange your still life. Next, decide on your background. Would you like paper, towels, or fabric hanging behind your objects? Or do you think it's more interesting for your objects to stand alone? We hung a scarf on a foam board and laid the second scarf on the table. To arrange your still life, think about how your objects relate to one another. What are the different sizes and colors of your objects? For example, we placed the light-up cactus in the center so that it would not distract from the rest of the still life. As you arrange, think about the colors, height, and purpose of your objects, and where the light touches them. We added some books under the scarf to play with different heights and to create new angles for drawing. Also, while our colors stayed in the desert theme with reds and oranges, we added complementary colors such as greens and blues. This might take some time, so be patient with your group and have fun. Once complete, walk around and look for different angles until each person finds a view they like. Depending on where you sit, you might find something flat or a hard surface to draw on. Start by lightly drawing the shapes in your still life with a pencil. For example, you'll notice the Coca-Cola bottle has a round shape in the middle of it with a rectangle on the top and bottom. After drawing those shapes, I can draw curved lines to make it look like the actual bottle. Also, my friend drew circles and ovals to create her bowl. What shapes can you find in your objects? Next, look for where the light touches your objects. This is called a highlight. You may want to leave this area white or color it using light pressure. We add colors that we see in the area where the light touches the Coca-Cola bottle, veils, light-up cactus, and grapes. Look at your objects closely again. What colors do you see? You might see colors that you did not expect. For example, my Coca-Cola bottle appears to be clear or translucent, but it has some blues and greens on the side of the glass. Color the rest of your objects by layering different colored pencils. How many colors can you see in your still life? See if you can use all 12 colors in your drawing. This might take some time, so have fun chatting with those near you about what you see. Finally, do you see shadows on or around your object? To create a strong shadow, apply darker colors with more pressure. Try purple or blue before adding black. Sometimes a strong shadow can be the complementary color of the main color in your object. Here I use purples, browns, and blues to create a darker soda color. I'll also add purple shadows to the pink fabric. Notice how I use black color pencils sparingly in this drawing. Take a moment to look over your drawing. Are there any parts of your still life that you miss? Would you like to add more details or designs that may not be present? Keep creating until you are happy with your still life drawing. Once you finish your drawings, lay them next to one another. What was your favorite object to draw? What might you all create next? When you're done, take pictures and share them with us on social media using the hashtag CreateTogetherKit. Thanks for joining us. Did you enjoy learning about Decker's Upset Still Life painting? Explore more still lifes in the collection, like William Mason Brown's Raspberries in a Wooded Landscape. How does this still life compare to Joseph Decker's Upset? Where do you see the highlights, shadows, and layered colors in this artwork? Talk about these questions with your group and keep creating.